Well, I didn't get the governor to talk on my video. I did have one into the president, but I didn't get him either. And my son has a lot of wisdom in what he said. For those of you who remember, mainly in the St. Louis area, we had a kid named Chucky McGee back in the 2000s. Chucky was a 10-100 meter kid. He beat Gatlin 3 years in high school, state champion, whatever. And I did try to make him run the 800. And if he would have done it, he would have been fast, really fast. I had, you would be amazed at this, I think. I had the good fortune as an 8-year-old kid to watch, and those of you old-timers, the greatest race of all time. It was the race that Dave Waddle walked down the Russian and the two Kenyans. And I think that's what transformed me. When you're a kid, you think you're going to be a football star. You're going to be a basketball star. And you guys in this room all know, half the guys that are helping you guys win never intended to run a track when they came to that high school. And that's what they do. I just first want to give a few thank yous out of the way. I'm sorry for my emotion. It's hard to hold back here. I want to thank Ryan Banta and the association of people that voted on this to be in the hall, for which I am humble and proud to be a member. It's the only hall I'm a member of. It's great to be one. It's awesome. Those people in the Hall of Fame are giants to me. I came to the hall, first year I lived in St. Louis was 1989. And I started coming to the conventions. And we were in the Ramada Inn over on the other side of 70. And I remember the Hall of Fame luncheons. And if you look about 94, 95 on that list, you'll see like 23 people each year. And I sat through every one of them. And I remember sometimes I might have been the only one left after all those speeches, because they used to have somebody get up and talk about them, and then they would talk themselves, and man, you'd be there from noon until 5 o'clock. But I remember, and since 1990, I've seen every one of them. I really want to give a special thank you to Dean Hayes. I think all of us in this room know this, but I want to say it. Without Dean Hayes, we don't have an association. And I want him to stand up, and I want him to have applause. And I also want to thank Aaron Moser. When I was the president 2 years back, he was a huge help. And he means so much to this association. So, Aaron, thank you. Next, I want to thank the people who have come here. I'm not going to say everybody's name, my brother, my mom, dad, my wife. I do want my daughter, Hannah, to know that she's not a part of the major speech here, so I wanted her to know I appreciate the value of her being here. My good friend, Ricky Bell, his wife, Steve Lotes, Andrew Hudson, and Athletic Director Brian Garner, Tim Corderville. I thank you guys for coming tonight. Aristotle says, excellence is an art won by training and habituation. We do not act rightly because we have virtue or excellence, but we rather have those because we have acted rightly. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellent, then, is not an act, but it's a habit. Tonight, you are looking at a Hall of Fame group that's going in. I did the math. Coach Aldridge, 31 years. Coach Asbury, 34 years. Coach Bingham, 2 million years. Coach McWoods, 29 years. Coach Warren, 35 years. Unbelievable. And when you look at the history of those people that are in that pamphlet on all those years, you could say the same year after year. It's unbelievable. I have to say this. It's not a part of my original speech, but it came up in my mind. And I may get a little teary-eyed here for a second. I don't mean to do this. But I have to mention it. The hardest day, not only coaching, the hardest day of my life was the first day that I had to coach a meet after Ron Jorgensen's passing. Partly because I missed him, but partly because he did everything before I got to the bus. I missed him a lot more. It was unbelievable. But let's be happy now. Let's talk about some things here. I want to talk about joy. Joy is seeing athletes achieve higher and greater heights than they ever expected of themselves. Joy is seeing Tim Levine, who, with elation, developed a young man named Hassan, who was a 6:30 miler, and over 2 months turned him into a sub-5 minute miler. And now to see the successes that await him are boundless. Joy is being able to compete against Dale Shepard and Wayne Baldwin in the 4x8. You guys were my standard. Joy was driving up that hill, Jeff City, overlooking the track with anticipation of another state track meet. Joy was walking up that hill when the meet was over, too. Sometimes you had medals, sometimes you didn't, but you knew it was over at that point for that season. Joy is seeing your kids grow up to become successful adults. Joy is watching Roland Hill, a scraggly senior, run a legendary race to get us from 8th to 4th in a mile relay at a district meet at Lindbergh High School. Nobody really noticed but us. And I'm sure you guys had those legs. I knew he had it in him, and now he knows he has it in him. Joy is seeing Nick Bugvar 3 steps up on the field after the gun and hold on to win the 2003 200-meter state championship. And now watching him grow into a great coach and a great young man. Joy is getting to coach with all the great assistant coaches that I've had and that I currently have. It's amazing. Joy is getting to coach with life-altering people. Sean Burris, Pat Sullivan, Ron Jorgensen, Paul Kennedy. Having the many relationships in coaching arena, and if you ever get up here, you don't want to leave anybody out, but I'll be here all night if I say all the names. But ones I do want to say, for sure, are Roland Garrison, Ken Manwaring, Wayne Baldwin, Rod Marshall, Keith Rhodes, Don Bulware, the Schillings, the list goes on. Ernie Perica, Melville, on and on. I can keep going. Joy is being mentioned by the approval of the Hall of Fame committee to join these great members. Joy is the day my wife accepted my proposal for marriage, and we've been together, married for 27 years and counting. Without you, none of this would be possible. I know all you out there make a difference in the kids that you coach. What you don't know is what they mean to you. Lao Tzu stated, "To love someone deeply gives you strength. Being loved by someone deeply gives you courage." The people who I have been involved with in the sport of track and field and in life are all people I care for deeply. What gives me courage is all the love they give me back. I know God has had a hand in this. Timing has everything to do with this. People get put in your path along the way. But the most important thing to me in all of this is how awesome it is to get to be a coach. To get to be a part of a classroom in motion. To be able to work with kids. This sport is awesome because it reveals character. It reveals it from the kids, it reveals it from the coach, and I love that. One message I would say to all you young coaches and old coaches, stay humble, continue to grow, never allow wins and losses to define you. If you continue to work with your kids in a positive manner, greatness will come for yourself and your athletes. Thank you and shalom.